What do you do when your garden grows 50 pounds of cucumbers at the same time and you have to do something with them before they go bad? Find out today. Hey, it's Jake here in the kitchen. I'm having one of those bad hair days and I haven't even been able to put my contacts on. But when you have a boatload of cucumbers to do something with, you can't just sit around while they go bad. That's right, today we're making pickle relish. Come along for the journey. This short video on how to make use of all those cucumbers that you get from your yard. That's right. Time waits for no man. And when you have cucumber relish to make, you have to do it when you can. 50 pounds of cucumbers in our garden, and we have to do something quick, and they're still coming along. So today we're going to process these up. This pile here is going to become relish, and we're going to go ahead and get it started, and we'll show you what we're doing. Important thing to do whenever you're making anything with cucumbers is draining it. Cucumbers are mostly water, and you get all this great stuff in it, but it's mostly water, so you got to get that out unless you want really runny relish or something like that. There's plenty of uses you can have for cucumber juice. You can save that and drain it, but if you want to make anything with the flesh, you have to drain it off. So this can take 8 to 10 hours. I'm just sort of doing a quick drain real quick so that we can get this set up before we go off for our July 4th activities. So we're gonna go ahead and drain some of this, and we'll put it over in our bowl until we're ready to do other stuff with it. My hands are nice and clean. I just washed them. Yeah, so that's the quick drain. Now we have to put onions in. I have, I don't know, 6 or 7 large sweet onions here. We were gonna make onion relish out of them, but they've been sitting on our counter so long, and now I need onions for this recipe. So we're just gonna get these onions cleaned up, roughly chopped, and then we're gonna mix them in here before we brine it and stick it in the fridge to drain more. They got me, Jim. Go on without me. Woo. Now we're going to get to some next level stuff. A lot of homesteaders don't show this. They've got this nice clean little operation on their counters, and you know, it doesn't look so cute and pretty and not dirty. The truth is, real homesteading food preparation is like restaurants. You're literally going to be mixing in buckets. You're going to be using your largest bowls, and it's going to get messy all over the place. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw this onion cucumber mixture in the bucket with pickling salt, and we're going to mix all this up, and then we're going to put it back in the bowl, cover it with saran wrap, and throw it in the fridge for another 8 hours to drain. Ready? You showing this?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get dirty. It's messy. We're trying, we're doing our best. Look at that. All right, got it all in the bucket. Go close up on that. All right, now it's going to go back into the bowl. And you can see that the salt has already started to pull out a whole bunch of the water. Look at that. Boy, that looks great. So you can see there's a bunch of water. We're not going to drain this yet. We're going to let this sit like this because the salt is part of the preservation process. So I'm going to mix this in a little bit more so we can get some of this onions and stuff. But you can just see that's where we're at so far. I'm going to pull a couple of these bigger chunks of things that didn't get cut up out of here just because we want a nice clean relish without any big chunks in it. But you can see this is just looking great. I mean, even now this is going to be a pretty good relish, I think. All right, so we're going to cover it up. I'm going to throw it in the fridge. It's day 2 of the cucumber relish fiasco. Just kidding, it's not a fiasco. It's just a lot of work. And we're going to go ahead and get the cucumbers and the onions that we have sitting in the fridge draining. We're going to get those drained off from the salt that we put in there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the sugar and spices into the vinegar water mixture that we have cooking on the stove in our giant pot, and just start getting this ready to can, because you know sometimes these projects take a little longer than you would want and it's a lot of work, and we want to get this done so that we can get our relish in the jars and ready to can and done for the day, because as you might see here on the counter, we have other projects coming along. We have our pineapple salsa ready to go, and we also have onion jam, balsamic onion jam over here, and then my wife wants to do pickles today. So today's going to be an all-day canning day, and we're going to get this first batch out of the way so we can get started on the rest. So the next step here is we're going to take our cucumber onion mixture that we previously had sitting in the fridge all night. Now we have to take it and drain it off. And you know, this is just sort of a messy, necessary step. So I'm just throwing this in the colander. Just throwing it in the colander. And you can see how it's separated in here. See all the water that's already come out of this. So we throw it in the colander here. And I just use a little trick here. I take a bowl, just a regular old bowl, and I just use it to squish. And I squish and squish and squish, and I'm just trying to get the rest of that water to come out, just to drain off a little bit more. You know, obviously you're not going to get this stuff perfectly dry, but it's separated enough because of the sugar, or the salt rather, that we can just squish it and then scoop it, just like that. And we're gonna throw it right in the big pot here with our brine, our pickling brine. Voila! We're just gonna keep doing that for all the batches until it all gets in the pot. This is the reason that we went ahead and we didn't brine it. We put salt in it and we stuck it in the fridge overnight, because we got another good half a gallon, maybe more, of water off of this. So this is that much more water that's not going to go into our relish. So we're going to have a nice thicker relish instead of a runnier one. You know, some of you may have seen some of these tomato sauce videos or just tomato videos where they cook the tomatoes down and ladle off the juice so that they get a thicker sauce. This is the same idea. Now, this has a lot of that salt in it, so we can't save the juice like we would the fresh juice, like we did some of the fresh juice. So this is just salty cucumber and onion juice. We're gonna go ahead and dump that because we don't need it, and it's way too salty to do anything with. So we're gonna go ahead and mix up the relish with our brine, and then we're gonna cook it down. So this has all of our dissolved sugar and spices. We're gonna mix this up really good so that we get that nice even mixture. This almost looks like sauerkraut. It's not, but it almost looks like sauerkraut. And if you get these big chunks in here that you don't want them, you can just pop them out. There's a couple in here still. Just pop them out. There's not too many in this one. Just pop them out, chuck them in there. There's another one. We don't have too many in this one, but there's a couple left over from when we were processing it in the food processor. So you just mix this up really well, and then you're actually going to boil this for 15 minutes. So this is nice and mixed up. Come on in, take a look at this. So it's well mixed up. So we're just gonna stick the lid on this. We're gonna boil this for 15 minutes, and then that'll be ready to start getting into the jars. I've been boiling this for about 15 minutes, and it's ready to start putting into the jars. And you can see it looks really great. This is gonna be a really good relish. Here we go, putting the nice hot relish into our jars. And it's gonna be important to be careful not to slop this all over the place. We use our funnel here for our wide mouth jars, and we're just gonna fill it up. This is gonna be water bath canning, so we're gonna fill it up to within, you know, about a 1/4 inch of the top, maybe a little less. You can see how that works right there. We're gonna pick that up a little more, right to about, let's say there. So that's pretty close. We'll just move on to the next one. So we'll get our jars out of the way. Now the jars go into the canner, and we put them in there, and we're going to water bath them for 10 minutes. We might have to do 2 batches because we have so much delicious relish. We did try it. It is absolutely delicious. So we're just putting this in here, probably in 2 batches, 10 minutes apiece. We're done with our relish. It looks absolutely delicious. And if you notice, it's all ready to go. As soon as it cools down, we'll put it in the pantry. So that's our cucumber relish exercise. You can see we're also getting the salsa ready for the next batch. And the kitchen is just really going here. It's one of those days where we're getting lots done. So we're excited for the canning process. So that's the cucumber relish. We hope you enjoyed it. The recipe's down below. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe and click the bell so you're notified when new videos come out. And we'll see you in the next video.